The difference between prayer and declaration. When you pray, you are asking God to do something for you. When you pray, you are asking God to do something for you. Prayer is the communication between God and man. So when you pray, you'll be asking God to do something for you. But a declaration, it's a fight against the devil, which is a battle against men and the agents of the devil, which are the spirits of the devil. So a declaration goes to the devil and his agents, but a prayer goes to God. So when you pray, you are communicating with the Father in heaven. According to the book of Matthew, chapter 21, verses 22, says, "And all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer." Now, the word ask in prayer, which means the prayer involves asking. So whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. Which means what guarantee you receiving is not prayer, but it's believing. What guarantee you receiving is not prayer, but believing. Now, when you believe, it's an act of faith that you have received it. So a prayer involves believing, involves faith. So when you pray, you must be able to attach your prayer to faith. Combine prayer and faith to come out with good results, to receive whatsoever you ask in prayer. Believe and you shall receive it. This is a prayer. Now, according to the book of Hebrews chapter 11 verses 1 says, "Faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not yet seen." Which means when you pray, you hold on to faith, which is the substance of things hoped for. The things that you hoped for are the things that you do not have at the moment, but the things that you would like to have. So hoped for. So is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not yet seen. Which means when you pray, you ask. When you ask, you believe. When you believe, you receive. So the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of faith is the evidence of things hoped for. Which means when you, after prayer, you must be able to hold on faith as the evidence of things which you have been praying for. So prayer involves asking, believing that you have received it and God will give it unto you. So when you pray, believe that you receive. So prayer involves asking, but for one to qualify receiving, you have to believe. So believing is a qualifier of receiving from God. Now, a declaration, it's a fight against the devil. Now, when you say, "Let there be light," which means there is something which is not light, which is there. So when you are declaring light where there is darkness, which means the light and darkness are fighting, and light is going to replace darkness. When you are declaring a marriage, which means there is a spirit of anti-marriage. Now, when you are declaring marriage, that spirit, a marriage, no fighter, the spirit of anti-marriage, and that spirit of anti-marriage will move away, and the spirit of marriage will take the position. So the spirit of anti-marriage, these are the agents of the devil, according to the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verses 3. For we do not war after the flesh. Right, we do not war after the flesh, even though we walk in flesh, but we do not war after the flesh. And the book of Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12 says, we do not wrestle against blood and flesh, but we wrestle against the principalities, the powers, the rulers of darkness, which means we are fighting against the rulers of darkness. We are fighting against the agents of the devil. Who are the rulers of dark world? Death are the rulers of the darkness. So when you are declaring life over someone, you are fighting against the spirit of death. Now there is a lot of confusion where people are failing to define prayer and declaration, and to separate prayer and declaration. Declaration